New Murphy, this excellent contractor, who lives in the ward. And the other party was also had good ideas, but I really wanted to go to the couple who was going to own their first home for the first time. And the other two had properties in their own homes, so I was really pleased that we were able to give a first-time home owner a piece of property. Thank you.
Anyone else on the question? Hearing no one else, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is adopted, 9-0. We now go to resolution number 150.
Resolution 150 of 2015, ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, amending the fee schedule adopted by the Common Council of the City of Kingston and approving the fee for parking permits for the City of Kingston.
On the question? Hearing no debate, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is adopted, 9-0. We now go to resolution number 151.
Resolution 151 of 2015, resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, endorsing support for CFA grant to UTAC Bardavon.
On the question? Alderman Dawson.
And this was discussed last night. I felt really, really proud that this was really looked at from a true sense of the issue. One of the biggest issues with this was making sure that we acted on it so that we were able to get the grants that were available. That's a very, very important point. And I'm really happy that we voted in the direction that we did. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else on the question before I call for the vote? Hearing no one else, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is adopted, 9-0. We now go to resolution number 152.
Resolution 152 of 2015, resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, supporting a memorializing resolution for a RUPCO grant for revitalization of the Cornell Street target area.
On the question, Alderman Dawson.
Sorry, I know you guys wanted to keep this thing moving, but this happens to be a very, very important area where revitalization is very, very important. And again, I'm proud that we are acting in a positive way to bring Midtown this just to in accordance with the revitalization. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else on the question before I call for the vote? Hearing no one else, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is adopted, 9-0. We now go to resolution number 153.
Resolution 153 of 2015, resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, endorsing support for Irish Cultural Center Hudson Valley's application to Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation.
On the question, Alderman Dawson and then Alderman Sessions.
Once again, I have to say I attended the groundbreaking ceremony for the Irish Center. I learned a lot. I met a woman who shared a name that was in my family. Me being black, I thought it was very interesting. And I think that this is going to be a beautiful piece to Kingston, the Irish Center. And I'm happy about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Sessions.
Do we have a good dollar number for the grant?
It's 500,000.
Just a commentary. You have to appreciate the scope of Mr. Carey. When he thinks 200 seats is a movie theater. So thank you very much.
Anyone else on the question before I call for the vote? Alderman Carey.
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm not related to Bob. Is he still here? But I'm very proud of him. And I think this is a good project for downtown, and I look forward to seeing it happen. Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else on the question before I call for the vote? Alderman Brown.
I'm so glad we got Irish culture. So being Irish, I don't have to keep going from Durham. And that's me in my backyard to celebrate my culture. Also Hunter Mountain too. So I'm really excited this center like this is coming to Kingston, and I think it'll be a big draw.
Anyone else on the question? Hearing no one else, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is adopted, 9-0. Now go to resolution number 154.
Resolution 154 of 2015, resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, execution of a payment in lieu of taxes pilot agreement by and among the City of Kingston, Birchwood Village Limited Partnership, and Birchwood Village Housing Development Fund Company, Inc.
On the question? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is adopted, 9-0. That completes our resolution. We now go to proposed local law number 2.
Local Law 2 of 2015 of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, amending Article 11, Section C11-5 of the Charter of the City of Kingston by adding thereto a requirement that a contract for the sale of water outside the City of Kingston must be approved by the Common Council and Mayor of the city.
On the question, Alderman Carey.
Yes, thanks, Mr. President. Oh, I know how Brad will feel. I think this is a historic day in the City of Kingston for a lot of reasons. I'm very proud of the council and the committee for passing this. It kind of horrified me when we didn't have representation for such a major issue as Niagara, and this is a very good positive step to get that corrected, and I'm very thankful that we're about to pass this. I also want to point out that this is not a slight of the water board or the water department. I think they do a great job. I think it's not to get lost on that. I think they do a great job. And this by no means is a reflection of the job they do, and I think that's important to know. However, I think there's also a myth that somehow the water department was set up separately to keep politics out of it. I mean, there's politics in government, there's politics in school, there's politics in religion, there's politics in youth travel soccer teams, there's politics everywhere. So to think that somehow because there's a separate water board that there aren't political influences is a little bit naive, and I think this actually, helps that process and will make it less political because we will have representation, assuming, of course, that it does make the ballot and pass. And last, I want to thank a couple of people. I want to thank Alderman Brown she was the first one to point this out long before there was a public outcry. Debbie was on the forefront of this, and I don't think gets enough credit for that. Thank you, Debbie. Kingston citizens, particularly Rebecca Martin and Jennifer Short-Berkey, the work they did on this and helping keep me educated and updated was phenomenal, and I want to thank them. And Andy's Weaving and Corporation Council for the work they did in realizing the urgency and the time frame that we have in front of us to get it on this year's ballot, to where we would have a separate one where it would cost a lot more money. They acted swiftly and professionally and did a great job, and Andy, I thank you for that as well. And I look forward to moving forward with this and getting the people to vote whether they want representation for such an important issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else on the question? Seeing you, Alderman Noel.
I just want to echo what Alderman Carey, his sentiments, and thank Alderman Carey for his very steady leadership and hand at the Public Safety and General Government Committee. I think he did a great job. And now, depending on our vote tonight, I hope it passes. Certainly a yes vote. There are time-sensitive next steps that have to be followed, so we want to make sure the public is well educated as we get towards the referendum in November. Thank you.
Anyone else on the question before I call for the vote? Alderman Dunn.
Thank you, Mr. President. We listened when the public filled our common council chambers and spoke for what was a significant amount of time, and we listened to every word, and it was spectacular. We then took action based on the public's comments, the petitions we received, the people that stopped us in grocery stores, the people we would talk to, whether they're neighbors or constituents or others. We took a number of actions, and those actions have led us to today. And but for those actions, Niagara may still be here, but for the public taking such a strong response, Niagara may still be here, and they may be taking our water, but they're not. We then promised this year to take action, and we are delivering on that promise tonight. And that's really exciting. We all know, we've heard from the public, we've heard from environmental organizations, we've heard from citizens, whether they're from inside the city of Kingston or outside of the city of Kingston, that we need to protect our water, that our water is one of our most basic assets, one of our most basic resources that we need it to survive. We know that communities throughout the country are suffering because they lack water. They're in droughts. Their water companies are taking water, whether it's from public lands or otherwise. And we know that they're struggling because of that. We know that we knew that we needed to take action to protect our interest. We knew that we needed to protect our interest as the Common Council so that we would have a seat at the table. We knew that we needed to take action so we could protect the interest of the public and the people that we represent. We know that we needed to take action so that we could protect the businesses within our community. And during the time that I've been an alderman, this is one of the most proud, one of the most exciting resolutions, local laws that we're going to pass tonight. And not only because we stuck with it, not only because we listened to the public and we took bold action, but because we're giving the public the right to decide whether or not we should have a say about the sale of water outside of the city of Kingston, and whether or not we should have a decision-making step or decision-making in that process. And that's exciting. So thank you to Kingston citizens. Thank you to all the hundreds of people that voiced an opinion on this. Thank you to Jeremy Wilbur. Thank you to all the members on the council, President Noble, Corp Council, you name it. Thank you to all of you for stepping up and expressing your opinions, because truly this grassroots upsurge was really exciting. And to hear the people and to hear so many people come out tonight, because this is rare. It's been rare while I've been on the council to say thank you. That feels really good. So thank you for saying thank you. So I urge the public to vote in favor of this. I think it's important. I think it's important for us to be able to protect our water, and really it offers another checks and balances in the system. And I agree with Alderman Carey that the water department does a good job, and this is just adding another layer of protection. So I urge the public to vote in favor of this. Help us so that ultimately at the end of the day, we can help and better represent you. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else on the question? Before I call for the vote. Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution.
We don't need a roll call.
No. Local law is adopted 9-0. That concludes our agenda for this evening. Before I call for a motion to adjourn, Alderman Mills.
I would just like to leave tonight's meeting in memory of Mrs. Horowitz. It was former Alderman Nate Horowitz's grandmother who passed away in the beginning of June, and Nate was a part of us at one time, and I just want to send off a sincere thank you and our sincere thoughts to him. Thank you.
Anyone else in open session?
Thank you. I'd like to close in honor of Steve Peckloff on Wilson Avenue. Steve was actually a classmate of mine at Coleman and passed away far too young. A good guy, and actually a pretty good singing voice. So you're not going to Steve on it.
Anyone else?
Yes, Mr. President.
Okay. else? All in favor? Opposed? We hereby stand adjourned to the next regular scheduled meeting. Thank you very much.